The goals for this video are as follows: understanding the terminology used by purchasing, understanding the general components of a bid, and helpful hints for bids and proposals. The processes used by the County of Riverside and the Department of Public Social Services can, at first, appear daunting and complex. Bear in mind, this is a process. Certain steps must be completed in a certain order, and this video will assist you in understanding many of the underlying requirements. Just remember this: we are here to assist you. If you feel you need assistance in understanding any of the materials involved, do not hesitate to reach out to us via phone or email. We are happy to help. First, let's talk about some acronyms and their definitions. RFI. This is a request for information, a procedure used to gather information from customers, community groups, and other interested parties in the development of further requests. An RFI can be written, oral, faxed, or emailed per instructions on the purchase request. Just answering an RFI will not get you a contract with the county. However, this will place you on the list when that particular item gets bid out. An RFQ is a request for quote, and is merely the process of asking you for how much you could provide a particular item or service. An RFI, like we just mentioned, may be used to develop an RFQ. An RFQ is a request for qualifications, and they are used for two scenarios. It may be used to create a smaller pool of pre-qualified bidders that meet minimum requirements to successfully bid on a project. In these cases, quotes, or RFQs, are requested and evaluated after a smaller pool of bidders is established. The other scenario allows for vendor acknowledgement of meeting minimum specifications and requirements and vendor agreement to a predetermined price, such as vouchers for hotel nights, adoption home studies, and so forth. If vendors meet these requirements and agree to a set price, they are awarded. RFP. This is what you will see the most. It is the request for proposal, a competitive solicitation that is used whenever the county cannot specify with certainty the item or service is needed, and the bidder is asked to propose a solution to a particular situation. It includes all documents, including those attached or incorporated by reference, used for soliciting the proposal. These are generally awarded to the bidder that best meets all the requirements listed in the RFP. There are some technicalities, however. These will offer open-ended questions and criterial requirements on the vendor response to allow for subjective scoring. These types of bids utilize both cost and technical score for award, most commonly with a 60-40 weight, but this can be adjusted depending on the solicitation. All RFPs and RFIs will be released through the public purchase website. All RFQs are processed through Riverside County. If you have completed your registration with us, you should now be familiar with those services. If not, please consult the first video in this series. RFQ responses can be submitted via the Riverside County website or delivered directly to us. RFP and RFIs must be delivered to Central Purchasing at our Washington Street address. All responses are due by 1:30 p.m. on the due date. Do not be late. It will not be accepted. Now, back to definitions. Responsive proposals. The county does not always award a contract based upon the lowest quote. A responsive proposal conforms in all material respects to the requirements set forth in the RFP. Material respects of an RFP include, but are not limited to, price, quality, quantity, or delivery requirements. A subcontractor is any individual, firm, or corporation having a contract with the contractor for the performance of any part of the contract with DPSS or the County of Riverside. Contractors are responsible for ensuring their subcontractors adhere to the terms and conditions of the contract. Let's take a look at a typical RFP as posted on the website. In the first section of a typical proposal, you will find the terms and conditions. This contains all the current boilerplate materials used by county purchasing. Examples of these can be viewed at the purchasing website in the Vendors column. Click the link titled Standard Terms and Conditions. The pages for your response to a bid may change significantly for each proposal posted, and is typical for RFPs. RFQs and RFQUs may use this material, but it isn't required. The questions and requirements will be customized for each bid release. Here is an example template used by purchasing to create a typical proposal. Important items to note are that the principal contact name for any inquiries concerning this proposal will be located at the bottom left of the page, along with their phone number, email address, and more specific to each proposal, the NIGP codes for the specific goods and/or services being requested in this proposal. Tab A is the proposal checklist. Read the general instructions carefully and follow them completely. As you prepare the requested documents and materials for the proposal, you will be revisiting this page frequently. Tab B is the proposal cover page. As before, be sure to read, understand, and fill out completely, as described in the instructions. Note that this page will give information on any bidders' meetings, giving dates, time, and location. Tab C is the Company Profile or Experience tab. This is the area where you tell us all the details of your business. The business name, organization, overview of services or activities performed, and so forth. You will also be asked to provide credentials for all employees or subcontractors that you plan to use in satisfying the bid requirements. Tab D is for acknowledgments. This is where you provide evidence of insurability and any required business licenses. Note that it explains that you should not purchase any additional insurance policies that may be required for this bid, until which time the bid is awarded. We will discuss insurance in greater detail in another module in this series. Tab E details the scope of services. Here you will be asked a number of questions, all of which must be answered by you. The questions outline the scope of work and/or specific services for this particular bid, and may also contain statements that you must acknowledge reading and understanding. Tab F is for references. A minimum of 3 references or recent similar projects is required. Tab G is for bidders' attachments. Any attachments that you find difficult to paste into the bidder's response boxes in any section of the RFP, you can paste into this section. When pasting attachments to Tab G, label the attachments Attachment 1, Attachment 2, and so forth. Enter the corresponding attachment number into the bidder's response box as shown in the example. Tab H is for your cost proposal breakdown and budget narrative when asked for. This is a detailed analysis of what, where, and when you will have an outlay of expenditures in meeting the requirements of this bid. Look at the screen for an example. This material, including a budget narrative, which is a running story of when these expenses occur, must be placed in a sealed envelope and included only in your original proposal, not in any copies of the submission. Tab I is for your financial statement. You must submit your business's balance sheet and income statement that are dated no more than 12 months prior to your proposal submission and must cover a period of at least a year. These will be in the original binder only and not in any proposal copies. Read the instructions carefully. There may be any number of additional tabs and affidavits attached to a particular proposal. Again, read each carefully and fill them out thoroughly as applicable. Let's discuss some of the standard items requested in a proposal. That proposal checklist. You're not going to be able to complete that until you actually get your RFP prepared. And the proposal cover page should be signed and dated only when the entire proposal has been completed. But there are some things that you can do now so you can have them ready to go when you do propose. You don't need to wait for the RFP's release to prepare a company profile. You can start putting that together now and just make it an attachment to the RFP. Evidence of insurance. You probably already have some kind of evidence of insurance. It may not apply to your proposal, but that's okay. As long as you can prove that you have some evidence of insurance, that's all you need. If you acquire that now, you don't have to wait until you're proposing for the county. Just a note here, as we will discuss insurance at length in another module, is that vendors may purchase required insurance and/or bonding listed in county solicitations through the county's risk and insurance program. Evidence of license. If you have a license, or if you need to be licensed as a contractor, clinical social worker, or whatever, you probably already have that information too. Do not wait to the bid's release to get that information. Financial information. You can use one of your prior financial statements. Have that ready to go, put it in a sealed envelope, and you're done. Credentials and resumes. Same here. You can have this prepared well ahead of time. Description of service. Most likely you will have to take a little time to put this together based upon the RFP request. References. These can be acquired ahead of time, so have them ready to go. Make sure you attend any pre-bid meetings. The more you know about us, the way we do business, and any potential competitors, the better for you on this and all future proposals. Make sure that all requested information is provided. No blank spaces. Be as clear and concise in your bid response as possible. Ask questions through the representative displayed on the proposal packet. And remember, never submit a bid late.